Today what we're going to do is we're going to carry on with Transformations Chapter 9. We're going to look more at Transformations 9a today. So let's go ahead and let's look at the first slide. 9.4 is performing rotations. So we've done translations. We've done the slide. I'm going to move a figure, to the right 6 and down 1. All right. We've done reflections where we had line of symmetry. That was yesterday, where sometimes it's the x-axis, sometimes it's the y-axis, sometimes it's like y equals -4, sometimes it's y equals x. We've had all of those, and then we reflected yesterday. Today we're going to do rotations, all right? A rotation is an isometry, which means it doesn't change the size of the shape, okay? It doesn't make it bigger or smaller. It stays the same, and the shape is the same. And it doesn't change its orientation. So when we take a look at this, here's an example. Let's say I have this point R, and I'm going to rotate it to R prime. Rotations generally are counterclockwise. So you'll see this little red thing up here. What that means is it's counterclockwise, all right? An example would be, I'm going to put a V here, okay? Let's call this line segment RV, and this other one R prime, and then it would be V prime. And again, I rotate it counterclockwise. The line segment itself would stay the same. Okay, it would be the same size. It would just rotate, it just move over. Okay. Note that we always rotate counterclockwise unless they tell you otherwise. They will actually tell you rotate this clockwise. Okay. But for the most part, we assume counterclockwise. Questions? Okay. So what we're going to do, here's a sample problem. There's a really neat trick when we rotate. Now, you could memorize the rule. There are rules for this, just like there were for reflections. But those rules we don't always remember. So this hopefully will help you. So the first thing that we're going to do is they're going to give you a shape. And you are going to list the ordered pairs. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put the ordered pair. Whoops. Okay, so my X ordered pair is 1, comma, what? 6. Yep. And then my Y ordered pair is 2, 2. My Z is 8, comma, -1. Okay, so if you happen to struggle with that, let me know. There's things that I can do to help you out with that. So we list the ordered pairs. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the shape and we're going to rotate it. So I'm going to come over here. Rotating it. So if I rotate it 90 degrees, what this means is it looks like this. This would be a rotation of 90 degrees. So like you take your paper that's up and down and you turn it so it's more horizontal. Okay. If they ask you to do 180, it would look like this. Okay. If they asked you to 270, it would look like this. And if they asked you for 360, it would be back at the beginning. Essentially what it is every time I move it, so like here's one rotation, that's 90. Add another 90. 90 plus 90 is 180. 180 plus 90 is 270. And then 270 plus 90 is the 360. Okay. So this particular problem asked me to rotate it 90 degrees. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees like this. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my my chart over here, and I've got X prime, and I'm just going to read X where it is. So if I come over here, you're going to notice that the X right here is -6, +1. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to write -6, comma 1. I'm going to read it like it's normal. I'm going to go down to my Y. My ordered pair is yes, -2, 2. Very good. Okay, and then my z is 1, 8. So you probably can see the rule that's already established, okay, which is fine. But if you do it this way, you know it's going to work. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this shape that I had, and I'm going to rotate it back to its original form. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot those points. So I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to plot negative 6, 1. And I'm going to put a point there. And I'm going to plot negative 2, up 2. And I'm going to plot 1, 8. Oh, this dot was wrong. My bad. There we go. That looks better. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my line. So I'm going to go from here to here, here to there, and here to there. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your highlighter or whatever you have. I'm going to grab the highlighter on here, and I'm going to change it to blue, and I'm going to shade this in.
Would the 2 bottom points be on the top of the...
Did I mess up?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay, so it's negative 2, 2, like this. Is that right? And then negative 6, positive 1. There we go. All right. That looks a little better. Okay. So connect my points again. Yeah, that looks a lot better. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my highlighter, like I said. Okay, and I'm going to highlight it. Make sure you highlight your final figure. So I know that's your final figure. So there's my highlight, and then I need to label the ordered pair. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to label this X prime. This is Z prime, and this is Y prime. Okay. We all right? Does that make sense? That's how you do 90 degrees. And it's easier when you have paper in front of you and you can just kind of rotate and write it down as opposed to this. This makes it a little more confusing. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these same ordered pairs, but I'm going to rotate it 270 degrees. Okay, so I always go back to the original figure. So here's my original figure. I'm going to rotate it. Here's 90. Oops, just a second. Dang nabbit. I'm having trouble today. I got to group it. There's 90. 90 more would be 180. 90 more would be, there's 270. Okay, so now I'm going to read the non-shaded figure. So I'm going to come down here. And I've got my X double prime, which is, what do I got? 6 comma negative 1. Double prime would be 2 comma negative 2. C double prime would be negative 1.
1,
Negative 1, negative 8. Is that right?
8. Oh, yeah, that's not there.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Nope, that's fine. I just want to make sure I'm right.
Oh, I guess we can-
Is that okay? Make sense? Okay. So now when I'm done with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to rotate this back to its original state. So here it's back to its original state. And I'm going to go to my ordered pairs. Okay, so it says 6, negative 1. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 1. And I'm going to go 2, negative 2. And I'm going to go negative 1, negative 8. I'm going to connect my points. Take my highlighter, shade. And then don't forget to label. So this is Y double prime. This is Z double prime. And then this is X double prime. Okay. So you always start from the original. So some of you on your assignments today, you're going to take those, you're going to graph them on a plot, an XY grid, and then you're going to write down the ordered pairs, and then you're going to rotate, and you're going to write down the new ordered pairs, and then you go ahead and plot the new shape, and then you shade. Okay. Questions? Okay.